Hi friends, thank you so much for joining me today. I am Michelle. Welcome to my garden. I am going to be talking about how I converted my front sprinkler zone into a drip system. I was a little intimidated to get started, but once I started researching and finding out what was involved in the process, it didn't seem so overwhelming. So I'm going to show you in just a minute how I converted the area and what it looks like. There's just a couple of key components that you need in order to be able to do this. You need a conversion kit to convert your sprinkler head to a drip zone area. It's a device that you insert into where your sprinkler head was, and it allows the drip tubing to feed into it. And so the water then comes out through the drip tubing and flows wherever you run your drip. The other key thing that I used in this process was a capping tool. The thing about converting a sprinkler zone is that when you convert a zone from sprinkler to drip, you have to convert the whole zone. So in my case, I have 4 zones in my yard. I was able to convert zone 1 over to drip, and so that meant that each sprinkler head within zone 1 either has to be dedicated to a drip system by using the conversion kit, or the sprinkler head has to be capped. So I used 2 sprinkler heads with the kit, and then I capped everything else, and I will show you. I will put a picture of the tool I used and also a link in the description, but that really aided in the process. And so those are probably the most important tips that I can provide is get this little tool, because it's a time saver. You don't have to dig out your sprinkler heads to be able to cap them off at the bottom. And then it is important to cap all of the sprinkler heads in the zone you're converting that you are not using drip on, because if you don't do that, the pressure becomes off and the drip line will not function as it should. And I apologize because I think this was crooked the whole time. But anyway, thank you for joining me, and let's take a look at what this looks like in the flower bed. Here is where the project begins. This is a sprinkler head that I converted to drip, and you can see this black component coming out. It's a kit that I bought from Rainbird, and you just screw it into your sprinkler line and you attach your drip housing to the black tubing. So what I have attached here is 1/2-inch emitter tubing, and I have run that tubing all around, as you can see, throughout the flower bed. So you can see I've got tubing and weeds. See, the weeds are just out of control. And of course, every time I want to do a video, somebody is mowing. So hopefully you can hear me. But as I come around here, I have a little more of a complex system. Well, not complex, but just more lines of the drip. So as you can see, there's actually 3 rows here that I've run. And then when you get to a plant that needs some more water, like over here, if you can see in the midst of my weeds, I connected a 1/4-inch drip tube with emitters so that I could run some additional water around the base of this plant here, because the 1/4-inch tubing is much easier to manipulate than the 1/2-inch. So all of these salvias have 1/4-inch drip tubing with 6-inch spacing emitters running around them, because the 1/2-inch drip tubing, the larger one, is every 18 inches, I believe. So it's not quite enough water. I am in Florida, zone 9A, and the soil is extremely sandy, so it does not retain the moisture very well. So there are ways to customize the drip for the needs of your plant, and I actually have used 2 sprinkler heads in this zone to run this project. What you saw just a minute ago was run from the sprinkler head at the other side, and here on this side of the house I have another unit that I converted with the same kit, and I will link everything in the description below. So that line feeds more of the items in this side, and you can also attach 1/4-inch blank tubing to your drip line. So I have a 1/4-inch blank tube that runs here up my tree, so you can see this dark tube, and up into my hanging basket over here on the other side of my tree. So the 1/4-inch blank irrigation comes into the plant, and from there I have, sorry, let me focus this, I have the brown tubing with the emitter. So I just feed it right up into the tree and it waters my hanging basket. So to explain, and I'm sorry, the condition of my flower bed is a wreck. I'm working on summer maintenance, cutting back things, moving things, so it's a little bit of a mess. And as you can see, when you don't mulch, you just can't keep the weeds under control. So to effectively irrigate, to convert a sprinkler zone, you have to either have all sprinkler heads running or you have to have all drip running. So in this particular bed, I have on zone 1 multiple sprinkler heads. I'm not even sure how many, I lost count, but 2 of them I converted to drip by using that kit, and the other sprinkler heads in the zone, as you can see, I've kind of left this one here because so I would know where it is. But this is a sprinkler head in this particular zone, and I will link a tool in the description, but you're not going to be able to see, but I have capped the sprinkler head at the base so that it will not mess with the pressure running to the 2 sprinkler heads I did convert with the kit. So here's another sprinkler head, and it is capped at the bottom as well. Eventually I'm going to put some risers and cap them to where they're a little bit higher so that I can get rid of those old heads, but for now that's what I've chosen to do. But anyway, it's much less complicated to convert to drip than what I thought it would be, but I wanted to show you sort of what it looks like so that perhaps you can do it yourself.